I died, choking on my own blood in a nursing home hallway. Abandoned like yesterday's trash because my son and his wife decided I was too much of a burden after I'd given them everything. The last thing I remembered was her voice on the phone. Smug and final. Emery. Your family, step up or step out. But that was then.
Now.
As my eyes snapped open in my old kitchen, staring at the calendar on the fridge marked December 15th, 2 weeks before it all went to hell, I realized God, or whatever cruel joke the universe played, had given me a do-over. And this time, I wasn't playing the loyal grandma anymore. The coffee in my mug was still hot, steam curling up like the ghosts of betrayals yet to come. My hands, wrinkled but steady, trembled just once as the flood of memories hit, the way she'd waltzed in that morning. Designer sunglasses perched on her head, demanding I watch little Mia for a full week while she and Tom jetted off to Maui. It's just family helping family. Emery, she'd cooed, all fake southern charm masking the ice in her veins. But I knew better now. I knew about the affair with her yoga instructor, the falsified documents siphoning my retirement savings into their dream home fund, and the whispered plans to warehouse me away once the kid was old enough to complicate their Instagram perfect life. I set the mug down harder than I meant to, the clink echoing like a gunshot in the quiet house. This was my second chance. And revenge wasn't going to be some tidy Hallmark redemption. It was going to be messy, American as apple pie and road rage, full of lawsuits, leaked texts, and the kind of family implosion that makes therapists rich. I'd start small, with her little vacation demand, and unravel their empire thread by thread. The doorbell rang, sharp and insistent, like fate knocking twice. I glanced at the clock, 9:15 a.m., right on schedule. Through the peephole, there she was, Lauren, my daughter-in-law, all Pilates-toned glow and designer tote slung over one shoulder. Little Mia balanced on her hip like an accessory. Mia, bless her chubby-cheeked heart, was gnawing on a teething ring, oblivious to the storm cloud of a woman holding her. Lauren's smile was plastered on, the kind that screams, "I'm better than you," without saying a word. I opened the door, forcing my own grin, warm, grandmotherly, the mask I'd worn for years. Lauren, right on time.
Come on in.
Sugar. My voice dripped with that fake hospitality we'd all perfected in the South. Even if this was straight-up Atlanta suburbia, not some plantation-era fever dream. She breezed past me, the scent of her overpriced vanilla perfume invading my space like a declaration of war. Emery, you look great. Have you been hitting the gym? We should do spin class together sometime. Translation: keep up or get left behind. Old lady. Mia reached for me with sticky fingers, and I scooped her up, burying my face in her soft curls. This kid was the one innocent in this mess, the only reason I'd ever forgiven Tom for marrying this viper. Spin class? Honey, at my age, spinning's what the room does after one too many margaritas. I chuckled, but inside, the gears were turning. In my first life, I'd said yes to this babysitting gig without a second thought. It was the beginning of the end, a week of solo parenting that left me exhausted, followed by emergencies that stretched it to months, until they forgot to pick her up altogether. Lauren dropped her tote on the kitchen island with a thud, pulling out her phone like it was an extension of her arm. So, about the trip. Tom's got that big merger closing, but he promised we'd make it up to you. Mia's schedule is in the app, feeds at 7, nap at 1, no dairy after 4, or she'll get that rash again. She rattled it off like a grocery list, not even glancing up from typing what I now knew was a flirty DM to her side piece. I bounced Mia gently, watching Lauren's reflection in the window, poised, untouchable, the queen of her curated chaos. Sounds straightforward. But Lauren,
Darlin'.
I've been thinking. Pause for effect. Let the words hang like smoke. I'm flattered you'd trust me with her. But I can't do it. Not this time. Her thumbs froze mid-tap. Slowly, she looked up, those Botox-smooth brows furrowing just enough to pass for surprise. What do you mean? You can't? Emery, we've got non-refundable tickets. This is our first real vacation in years. Years? Try since Mia was born. Because I'd been their free nanny on call ever since. In the before,
Idekava.
citing family first. But family? That word tasted like ash now. I mean exactly that. My back's been acting up, doctor's orders to take it easy. And honestly, a whole week solo with a toddler? That's a young woman's game these days. Lauren's laugh was sharp, like shattered glass. Young woman? Come on. You're tougher than that. Remember when you chased that raccoon out of the garage with a broom? This is just babysitting. She stepped closer, lowering her voice to that conspiratorial tone she used when she wanted something.
Plus,
Tom's been so stressed. If we cancel, it'll kill the mood. For us and the marriage. There it was, the first hook in her manipulation playbook. Invoke the sun. The guilt trip. In my past life, it had worked like a charm. I'd swallowed it whole, picturing Tom wilting under boardroom pressure, Lauren's tears flowing like cheap wine. But I knew the truth now. Tom wasn't stressed about work. He was complicit, signing off on those shady transfers from my accounts, whispering in her ear about how mom's savings are just sitting there. They toasted to it over champagne the night before my accident. I met her gaze, steady as a loaded gun. Marriage.
huh? Funny you mentioned that.
Speaking of Tom, how's that new associate at his firm? The one with the Hamptons shares? It was a shot in the dark, or so she'd think. But in my do-over knowledge, I'd overheard enough late-night calls to connect the dots. Yoga instructor by day. Tom's work buddy by night?
No.
The real dirt was her dipping into company funds, with Tom turning a blind eye for a cut. Color drained from her face, but she recovered quick, flipping her hair like it was a shield. What are you talking about? That's ridiculous. Look, if it's about money, it's not about money, I lied smoothly, handing Mia back to her. The toddler whimpered, sensing the shift, but Lauren juggled her like a pro. It's about boundaries. You've got options, daycare, a sitter app, hell, even Tom's mom in Florida.
But me?
I'm out. Her eyes narrowed, the charm evaporating. Boundaries? Emery, this is family. You're acting like some entitled boomer who thinks the world owes her. We pay for your groceries half the time. Paid, try repaid after looting my nest egg. But I didn't bite. Instead, I pulled out my phone, the one I'd charged with a Futures Fire. Entitled?
Hot.
Meat kettle. But fine. If it's that urgent, why don't we loop Tom in right now? Group text. She snatched at the air, as if she could grab the words back.
No, wait.
Let's not blow this up. Mia needs stability. Stability. The word hung there. A bitter joke. In 2 weeks, in the timeline I remembered, they'd stabilized me right into a home, drugged and forgotten. My pleas dismissed as senile rambling. I'd slipped in the hall, hit my head Official story. But the bruises on my arms? From resisting care, their care. I soften my voice, playing the long game. You're right. She does. And that's why I'm saying no.
Go enjoy Maui.
Send pics. I turn toward the sink, dismissing her. The ultimate power move in passive-aggressive Americana. Lauren stood there, fuming, Mia starting to fuss in earnest. This isn't over. Emery. Tom's going to hear about this. She stormed out, the door slamming like thunder. As the echo faded, I sank into a chair, heart pounding with a mix of terror and triumph. This was just the opening salvo. The real war? It started with a single email I'd send tonight, an anonymous tip to Tom's HR about those irregular transfers. Let the audits begin. But as I sipped my cooling coffee, a sliver of doubt crept in. What if changing this butterfly wing moment saved Mia but damned my soul? Revenge felt righteous in the abstract, but up close, it was a razor wire wrapped in red, white,
And blue.
The afternoon dragged like a bad blind date, sunlight slanting through the blinds in mocking stripes. I busied myself with preparations, not for babysitting, but for battle. First, I dusted off my old laptop, the one Tom had called ancient last Christmas. Password protected, just like my memories. I logged into my bank app, eyes scanning the balances that, in this timeline, were still intact. No phantom withdrawals yet.
Good.
But I knew the pattern, small ones first, disguised as gifts, then bolder raids once they thought I was hooked on their gratitude. By 2 p.m., Tom's call came through speakerphone, so I could hear the strain in his voice from across the room. Mom, what's this about you bailing on Mia? Lauren's a wreck. A wreck. Sure. More like a Category 5 hissy fit. I leaned back, cradling the phone like a grenade. Hey.
Kiddo.
Yeah. I told her no. It's not personal, just can't swing it physically. Silence. Thick as Atlanta humidity. Then, the sigh, the one he'd weaponized since he was 10, guilting me into extra baseball gear, or that disastrous family RV trip. Mom.
Come on.
Lauren's counting on this. We've got deposits.
Plans.
You're the only one we trust with Mia. Trust. The word sliced deeper than I expected. Tom, my boy. The wide-eyed kid who'd built forts in the backyard. Now a 35-year-old suit with a mortgage and a moral blind spot. In the before, I'd melted at that line. Visions of his trust blinding me to the fine print.
But now?
Trust goes both ways.
Tom.
You two have been leaning on me hard lately. Feels one-sided. Another pause. Longer this time. I could picture him in his corner office, tie loosened, staring out at the Peachtree skyline like it held answers. What do you mean? One-sided? We appreciate you.
Mom.
The check for the roof repair, which came out of my savings after you forgot the reimbursement. I dropped it casual, like mentioning the weather, but it landed like a brick. In my first death spiral, I'd let those loans slide, chalking it up to hard times.
Now,
with the ledger burned into my brain, every dollar was ammunition. Tom's voice sharpened. Whoa. Hold up. That's not fair. Lauren handles the books. She said it was all squared away.
Of course she did. Lauren.
The queen of QuickBooks sorcery. Juggling numbers like a Vegas act. Squared away how? By rerouting it through that shell account for your side hustle? I'd pieced it together post-mortem, from the emails that surfaced in my haze of painkillers. Tom's consulting gig was code for funneling cash to Lauren's boutique startup, except the startup was a front for her lover's real estate flips. Mom, you're sounding paranoid. Have you been talking to Aunt Rita again? Her conspiracy podcasts are paranoid. I laughed. Low and genuine. The sound surprising even me. Tom,
I'm 68.
I've earned the right to question when my own son treats me like an ATM. Tell Lauren to find a sitter.
Or better yet,
Cancel the trip. Family time right here in Georgia, picnics, not piña coladas. He muttered something about unreasonable, then the line went dead.
click.
Just like that, the umbilical cord I'd clung to for decades frayed a little more. I set the phone down. Hands steady now. Phase 1, isolation. Make them squirm without the easy out. Evening fell soft and sticky. Cicadas humming their endless summer dirge outside. I cooked for one grilled chicken and greens from the garden, the kind of meal that screamed self-sufficiency. No placemat for Tom. No booster seat for Mia. Just me, savoring the quiet like fine bourbon. But solitude bred reflection. And with it, the ghosts. I wandered to the den, flipping through photo albums I'd hidden away after their wedding. There was Tom at 18, gap-toothed grin after his first touchdown. Lauren at the altar, veil like a shroud, her eyes already calculating the inheritance windfall. And me, younger Emery, eyes bright with hope, toasting to happily ever after. What had I done wrong? Raised a boy who prioritized his wife's whims over his mother's dignity. Or was it me, the enabler, dishing out unconditional love like it was bottomless? In this second life, I vowed no more. But as I traced Mia's ultrasound pic taped to the page, doubt gnawed. She was 3 now, all dimples and demands. If I burned this bridge too hot, would she get caught in the flames? The ping of an email jolted me. Anonymous sender. Subject, for your eyes only. My pulse spiked. I clicked. Breath held. It was from a ghost account I'd set up that afternoon, routed through a VPN Tom once mocked as overkill for emails. Attached screenshots. Bank statements. Highlighted transfers. Texts between Lauren and YogaBabe92, not the instructor, but Tom's associate, the one with the Hampton shares. Miss you in the city. Tease clueless, as ever. Drinks when we're back. I'd fabricated nothing. This was memory made real, pulled from the digital autopsy of my first death. But sending it to Tom? That was the gamble. I hit forward, CCing his work email for good measure. Let the merger stress multiply. By midnight, the house was dark, but sleep evaded me. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling fan's lazy whirl, replaying Lauren's face, that flicker of fear when I'd named the associate. She'd always been the puppet master, Tom her willing marionette. But what if I cut the strings too soon? What if revenge tasted like regret? Dawn broke gray and drizzly, the kind of Atlanta morning that soaks your soul. Coffee brewed. I checked my phone, 3 missed calls from Tom, 2 voicemails, a text barrage from Lauren. We need to talk. This is crazy. Crazy? Try clarity. I ignored them, heading to the garage instead. There, amid Tom's forgotten golf clubs, was the real weapon, my old file box, labeled Family Matters.
Inside.
Not just photos, but the secrets I'd buried deeper than my pride. The letter from the lawyer about Tom's trust fund, the one Lauren had advised him to dissolve for their fresh start. The clinic receipt for Mia's paternity test. Negative for Tom. Positive for the yoga guy. I'd found it by accident in the before. Dismissed it as a mix-up. Now, it was dynamite. But wielding it meant choices, controversial ones. The kind that split families like fault lines. Expose the affair. And Mia loses her dad. Ruin Lauren. And Tom crumbles. Or walk away. Let karma's slow grind do the work.
No.
This was America, land of the lawsuit, home of the viral takedown. I'd go nuclear. But smart. The doorbell buzzed again, insistent. Furious. I peered out. Lauren. Solo this time. Rain-slicked and wild-eyed. No Mia in tow.
Progress.
I opened the door. Rain pattering on the welcome mat like applause. Lauren. To what do I owe the pleasure? She didn't wait for an invite. Pushing past with the force of a nor'easter. Cut the crap.
Emery.
Tom's freaking out. Says you sent him proof? What the hell are you playing at? I closed the door softly, leaning against it. Her back was to me, shoulders heaving. The picture of unraveling poise. Proof of what? Exactly? The trips to the Hamptons? Or the consulting fees that bought your Birkins? She whirled, face a storm of fury and fear. You have no idea what you're doing. This could destroy everything. Everything. I echoed, stepping into the kitchen light. Like how you destroyed my health insurance to streamline the premiums. Or the way you dosed my tea that night at the home. To keep me quiet about the money. Her eyes widened, genuine shock. Or the mask slipping. In my memories, that accident had been her masterpiece. A little extra sedative in my evening chamomile. A fall blamed on my deteriorating state. She'd visited that week. All smiles and Jell-O cups. Signing the DNR like it was a grocery receipt. You're delusional, she hissed. But her voice cracked. Tom would never. Tom signed it too. The words dropped heavy. Truth bombs in a room thick with lies. I saw the copies. Your signatures. Side by side. She backed up, bumping the island, knocking over a fruit bowl, apples rolling like escaped prisoners. This is blackmail. I'll call the cops. Go ahead. Tell them about the affair. The fraud. Hell. Mention how you left your mother-in-law to rot because she outlived her usefulness.
My voice stayed even.
Southern steel wrapped in silk. But inside, the old Emery screamed, "Stop. He's your son." Lauren's laugh was hysterical, teetering on the edge. You think you're some avenging angel? You're just a bitter old hag who couldn't hack modern life. Tom deserves better. We all do.
Better.
The word ignited something primal. I crossed the room in 3 strides, close enough to see the Botox twitch. Better than what? A grandma who wiped asses and baked cookies while you swanned off to brunches? I built this family. Lauren. You just inherited the ruins. She shoved me, hard. A flash of violence that in another life would have sent me tumbling. But I was ready, feet planted like oaks. Touch me again, I whispered. And you'll see ruins. The standoff stretched. Rain drumming a war beat outside. Then, her phone buzzed, Tom's face on the screen. She answered, turning away. Baby? Yeah. She's unhinged. We need to. I didn't wait. Snatching my own phone, I hit record. Voice memo app open. Her words spilled. She's threatening us. The money. The kid, everything.
Click. Saved.
Insurance. As she hung up, I was already dialing my lawyer, the one who'd handled my will in the before, now my ally in the now. Mr. Hargrove, Emery Hayes. I need to file for emergency guardianship on my granddaughter. And an injunction on my accounts. Lauren froze. Guardianship? You can't. I can. And I will. The line connected. Hargrove's gravelly drawl a lifeline. As I laid it out, the fraud, the neglect, the recordings, Lauren's world cracked audibly. She sank to a stool, head in hands, the queen dethroned. By the time I hung up, sirens wailed distant, perhaps coincidence, perhaps Tom's panicked 911. But in that moment, victory tasted sharp, like vindication vinegar. Yet as she looked up, tears real, for once, I saw the twist coming, not hate, but hunger. What do you want? Emery?
Money?
The house. I knelt. Eye level. Voice soft as mercy. I want my family back. The real one. But deep down, I knew some families were built on sand, and the tide was rising. The fallout hit like a freight train derailing in slow motion, cops at my door by noon. Not for arrest, but statements. Officer Ramirez, a no-nonsense Latina with a badge that gleamed like justice, took my account with the patience of someone who'd seen every flavor of domestic implosion.
Mom.
You sure about pressing charges? Family stuff gets ugly fast. Ugly? Try biblical. But I nodded, handing over the phone with its damning audio. The bank printouts I'd run off at the library. Old school paranoia paying dividends. Ugly's what they made it. Officer. I'm just cleaning house. She pocketed her notepad, eyes sympathetic but sharp.
All right.
We'll start with the financials. Fraud's federal if it crosses wires. And the guardianship? Judge'll fast-track that tomorrow. As she left, the neighborhood watched from behind curtains, whispers already brewing like sweet tea gossip. In suburbia, scandal was the real HOA rule. Tom arrived next, barreling up the drive in his Audi, face thunderous under the receding clouds. He didn't knock, just shouldered in, reeking of stale coffee and desperation.
Mom.
What the actual fuck? Lauren's a mess. Mia's with the sitter bawling her eyes out. And you dropped this bomb. I met him in the foyer, arms crossed like a bouncer at an exclusive club. Bomb? Try wake-up call.
Son. Seat.
We talk. He paced instead. Ty Askew. The golden boy frayed at the edges. The emails you sent, lies. All of it. Lauren swears the transfers were mistakes. Accounting glitches. And that paternity crap?
Forged.
You're tearing us apart. Tearing? We'd been torn since the wedding. Stitches pulled by greed and gaslighting. I grabbed his arm, gentle but firm, steering him to the couch. Sit. Thomas. Or, do I need to call you by your middle name like when you were 6 and stole my lipstick? He deflated, dropping like a punctured balloon. The living room felt smaller with him there. Ghosts of Thanksgivings past hovering in the framed pics. Turkey carvings, Easter egg hunts. Mia wasn't even born yet in those shots.
Mom. Please.
Lauren's not perfect, but neither are you. Remember, Dad? How you clung to that house after he died. Turning down dates. Burying yourself in grandma duty to avoid living. Low blow. Dredging up Pop's cancer like ammo. He gone quick, pancreatic. No mercy, but the void? I'd filled it with them. pouring love into the leak until it overflowed into codependence.
Don't deflect. This isn't about me.
It's about you signing away my security for her boutique dreams. And Mia, God,
Tom.
she's not yours biologically, but she could have been. If you'd fought for the truth. His face crumpled, hands raking through his hair. I knew.
About the test.
She told me last year. Swore it was a one-time slip with that idiot instructor. We were trying therapy, making it work. For Mia.
Therapy.
The word mocked me. In the before, they dragged me to family counseling post-fall, spinning yarns of my instability while the shrink nodded along. Making it work by drugging your own mother-in-law? That's not therapy. That's felony. Tom's eyes widened, true shock this time. Drugged? Lauren said the home mixed up your meds. That you fell because I resisted? Bruises don't lie.
Tom.
Neither do talk screens. I demanded one in my lucid haze. Results buried under patient confidentiality. But the nurse who'd smuggled me a copy, her face haunted my limbo. He stood, pacing again, a caged lion in loafers. I didn't know. Swear to God. If that's true. His voice trailed, fists clenching. Anger at her? Or at the mirror? It's true. I let it sink, then twisted the knife, not cruel, but necessary. And the vacation? While I rotted. You two sipped my ties, posting pics with Blessed. Mia's first word was Nana, not Mama. Remember that. He stopped. Back to me. Shoulders slumping. I do. And I hate myself for it. A sob escaped, raw,
Boyish.
for a heartbeat. I softened, the mom in me aching to hug it away. But the survivor? She held firm. Then prove it. Walk out that door. File for divorce. And back my guardianship play. Or lose us both, Mia and me. The ultimatum hung. Controversial as a Trump tweet in a blue state. Family courts hated interference, but fraud? That tipped scales. Tom turned, eyes red-rimmed. You're asking me to destroy my life.
No. Son.
I'm asking you to save it. He left without another word. Door clicking soft as surrender. I sank into the cushions, exhaustion crashing like waves. Revenge wasn't triumphant fanfare. It was this, hollow victories in faded floral prints. Night brought visitors uninvited. Aunt Rita, my late husband's sister, barreling in with Tupperware and tea tree intuition. Emery Hayes. I smelled trouble from 3 counties away.
Spill.
Rita was pure unfiltered Georgia, big hair, bigger opinions. The kind of woman who called bullshit on Thanksgiving grace. She'd warned me about Lauren from day one. That girl's got shark eyes. Honey. Tom's too smitten to see. Over chamomile, decaf. No risks. I unloaded. The death. The do-over. The digital dirt. Her eyes bugged wider than her perm.
种星?
Like that Korean drama you hate? Girl. If that's true, the Lord's got a sense of humor darker than moonshine. Not Korean, just me. Stuck in a loop till I break it. I laughed.
Brittle.
Rita didn't pry the supernatural. She grabbed my hands. Practical as prayer. Then let's lawyer up proper. I got a cousin in Fulton County, divorce shark. And for Mia, we'll paint you sainthood in family court. By dawn. Plans solidified. Rita's network for sitters. No more solo heroics. A private eye on Lauren's glitches. And me? Therapy, for real this time. Unpacking the enabler in the mirror. But as Rita hugged goodbye, her whisper chilled. Watch your back.
Eminência.
Snakes bite hardest when cornered. She wasn't wrong. Mid-morning. A delivery van idled curbside, flowers. And signed, petals blood-red roses, mocking romance. Card inside. We can fix this. For Mia.
Elle.
Fix? Try fracture. I trashed them, but the unease lingered. A premonition prickling my spine. The court hearing loomed like a guillotine. 9 a.m. Fulton County Family Division. Air thick with bleach and broken dreams. I arrived early. Rita at my elbow. Hargrove barking strategy in his rumpled suit. Stick to facts. Mrs.
Hayes.
Fraud. Endangerment, no emotion. Easy for him. Emotions were my fuel. The ghost fire propelling this second shot. Lauren and Tom sat opposite when called. Her in power pearls. Him hollow-eyed. Mia wasn't there, neutral sitter. Per rules, but her absence echoed louder than cries. Judge Harlan. A silver fox with a gavel scar. Peered over specs. Mrs.
Hayes.
Your petition alleges financial elder abuse and child welfare risks. Bold claims. Evidence. Hargrove laid it out. Docs. Recordings. Even a sworn affidavit from the home's rogue nurse. Procured via Rita's vines. Lauren's lawyer, a slick weasel in pinstripes, countered with marital discord, painting me as interloping matriarch. Interloping? I bit my tongue as Hargrove fired back. Your Honor. Petitioner's interloping saved the minor from parental negligence. Witness the vacation abandonment plot. Gasps rippled. Lauren's facade cracked. A tear, crocodile or real, trailing mascara. Tom stared at his shoes.
Silent. Then.
The twist. Tom's turn to speak. He rose. Voice steady. Your Honor. I corroborate. The funds were misused. And the incident at the facility? I was misled. He glanced at Lauren. Eyes steel. We're separating. Effective immediately. The room froze. Her lawyer sputtered. She gaped.
Betrayed.
Tom? What? Save it, he snapped. First fire I'd seen in years. Mom's right. For Mia. Judge Harlan nodded. Gavel poised. Emergency guardianship granted to petitioner. Financial freeze on respondents' joint accounts pending investigation. Custody evaluation in 30 days. Gavel fell. Thud of triumph.
Rita vupet soft. Hargrove grinned wolfish.
As we filed out, Tom caught my arm. I meant it.
Mom.
Therapy. All in. For her. I searched his face, saw the boy. The man. The potential. Prove it daily.
Son.
Starts now.
Outside.
Rain held off. Sun-piercing clouds like grace. But Lauren lingered on the steps. Eyes venomous. This isn't over. Emery. You'll regret playing God. Regret? In this life. It was luxury I couldn't afford. As she vanished into a waiting Uber, I whispered to the wind. Bring it.
Snake.
I've got 9 lives left. Yet victory soured quick. That night, alone with takeout lo mein, the high crashed. Mia's empty room upstairs mocked me, toys gathering dust. Crib a cage without its bird. Was this salvation or selfishness? I'd won the battle. But the war? It whispered of darker days. Lauren's cornered hiss echoing Rita's warning. And in the quiet, Another secret surfaced, not buried, but blooming. My own. The do-over wasn't random. As sleep tugged, a memory flashed, not death's choke, but a choice. In limbo, I'd begged, one more chance. But the price? Unspoken. What if it was Mia's stability? Or Tom's soul? Dawn would tell.
For now,
I slept armed, with pepper spray and prayers. The Private Eyes report landed via encrypted email 2 days post-hearing. A dossier thicker than a bestseller. Rita forwarded it over brunch at Waffle House, hash browns scattering like confetti for the damned. "Read this," she hissed, sliding her tablet. "Your snake's got fangs." Pages flew. Lauren's boutique. A Ponzi light. Roping in Tom's clients for exclusive merch that never shipped. The instructor? Not a slip, a pattern. 3 affairs. 2 love children tucked away in non-disclosure vaults. And the kicker. Forged docs not just for my funds, but Pop's life insurance, rerouted pre-cancer. To protect the family.
protect.
From what? My oversight? Rage boiled. Hot as the diner coffee. She's a monster.
Rita and I did.
Syrup-dripping fork paused. Worse, a chameleon. But here's the play. Leak it selective. To the feds. Not the tabloids. Keep it clean.
Clean.
In America's Justice Circus. Clean was relative. I greenlit it. Hargrove filing addendums by noon. But as I drove home, windows down to blast Patsy Cline, doubt gnawed deeper. This wasn't just revenge, it was resurrection. And the undead always hunger. Tom called that evening, voice lighter than in years. "Mom, Mia's asking for Nana. Can we visit? Just us 3? Heart twisted, yes and caution. Tomorrow.
Park.
Neutral ground. The park was Eden Redux. Oaks dripping Spanish moss. Duck pond rippling under autumn sun. Mia toddled toward me, arms wide. Nana, melting the ice I'd armored with. Tom hung back, picnic basket in hand, PB and JS. Her fave. Peace offering. We sat on checkered cloth. Mia smearing jelly on my blouse. Giggles the bomb. "She's got your eyes," I said soft, watching her chase leaves. "And your stubborn streak." He smiled.
Tentative.
Therapy's good. Unpacking the codependence. Yours?
Mine.
Lauren. She's checked into a program. Rehab. Not just for the lies, but the pills. Pills. The missing link, her stress meds fueling the sedatives. Forgiveness flickered, but I banked it. Good. But trust rebuilds slow.
Tom.
Like kudzu starts small. Covers everything. He nodded. Eyes on Mia. I know. And the paternity? We're doing new tests. If it's mine. It is, I lied smooth. The secrets wait mine alone. The old result? A plant. Lauren sabotaged to force divorce on her terms. I'd uncovered it in emails. Her insurance against Tom's weakness. Twist upon twist. As Mia napped in my lap, Tom squeezed my hand. I love you.
Mom.
For this. For fighting.
Love.
The word healed cracks I didn't know bled. But as we packed up, my phone buzzed, unknown number. Voicemail, Lauren's voice. Slurred and seething. You think you won? Check your mail tomorrow.
I've got dirt on you.
Dirt? My pulse raced. What skeletons did I hide? Pop's accident, no. Cancer. Or the date I'd turned down. The one Rita teased? Harmless. Mail came at 4 p.m. sharp. Manila envelope. No return. Inside. Photos.
Me.
Younger. Laughing with a stranger in a bar, pre-Tom's teens. And a letter. Typed. Ask your son about the night he totaled the Beamer. Who covered it?
Who buried the DUI?
Ice water in veins. Tom. 19. Joyride gone wrong. I'd paid the tow. The hush money to the cop cousin. Statute of limitations long past. But leverage? Eternal. She was counterpunching.
Desperate.
I burned the pics in the sink, flames dancing like demons, then called Tom. We need to talk. Now. He arrived, frantic. Mia at a sitter's. What's wrong? I showed the ash. Explained. His face paled.
God. Mom.
I was stupid, high on stupid. Not booze. Lauren dug it up?
How?
Doesn't matter. She wants war. I paced. Mind racing. Controversial call. Come clean in court? Use it to flip her script? No, Tom said firm. We go public. Full disclosure. My screw-up. Your cover shows the love. Humanizes us. Humanize. In the court of public opinion.
Yes.
But family? Risky as Russian roulette. We drafted the statement together, therapy homework turned tactic. Sent to Hargrove by dusk. In light of recent allegations, Thomas Hayes Sr. discloses a past indiscretion. Fully resolved by his mother. Viral by morning, Atlanta Journal-Constitution pickup.
Reddit reais explodem, 1000 versos.
DIL. The ultimate family feud? Pundits piled on. Cable news craving controversy. Entitled Millennial versus Boomer Vigilante. One talking head sneered. Another. Heroic grandma or meddling harpy?
Harpy.
The slur stung. But ratings fed the fire. Lauren's rehab leaked next, paparazzi shots of her in sweats. Flipping off lenses. Her boutique? Raided by feds.
Qui en suit nomas.
Crisis spun to climax. Emergency hearing. Judge Harlan fuming. This circus ends today. Full custody to petitioner Hayes. Supervised visitation for father. None for mother pending psych eval. Gavel. Final. But as confetti of justice settled, Lauren cornered me in the hall. Wild. Unhinged. You stole my life.
No, y whispered.
Voice steel. You squandered it. She lunged, nails out, but security swarmed, hauling her away screaming curses in designer defeat. Tom hugged me after. Mia in arms. We did it.
We.
The word warmed. But the twist lingered. Her dirt was fluff. But what if she'd unearth more? My do-over. Impossible to prove. But paranoia whispered. Weeks blurred to normalcy. Mia's bedtime stories. Tom's co-parent coaching. Rita's brunches brimming with I told you so's. The feds closed in. Lauren pleading out community service, restitution. One night. Porch swing creaking. Tom beside me. Stars pricking the sky. Regrets. Mom, some. The price of resurrection. Scars on all. But this? Worth it. He nodded. Then, that email you sent, the proof, felt too perfect. Like you knew.
Chill.
The secret teetered. Mother's intuition. I deflected. Heart hammering. He laughed. Buying it.
For now.
But as fireflies danced, I wondered. Second chances demand thirds? Or was this the end? Happy. Hard one. Haunted? Months stitched into a fragile quilt. Thanksgiving without tension. Mia's 4th birthday, a balloon riot in the backyard. Tom thrived at work.
Mère Gécilde sans scandale.
Dating a pediatrician who baked worse than me but listened like a pro. Lauren? Vanished to California. Wellness retreat code for house arrest light. Emails to Mia filtered through lawyers. Sterile as subpoenas.
Me?
I bloomed late. Like azaleas defying frost. Spin class with Rita, grunting through burpees.
Logging televis 7.
Dates? 1. With Hargrove's partner. A widower with fly fishing stories and kind eyes. No sparks. But the trying? Electric. Yet under the idol. Fault lines hummed. Nightmares of the hallway chokehold. Lauren's hiss, not over. And the do-overs whisper. What next? It cracked open on a muggy June eve. Doorbell chiming like a bomb. Through the peephole, Lauren. Gaunt in sundress camouflage.
No makeup mask.
Alone. I cracked the door. Chain on. What? Emery. Voice raw. Stripped.
Please.
Just talk. Against Rita's, hell no. I unchained. Curiosity's curse. She stepped in tentative. No storm this time. Just wreckage. Coffee. We sat at the island. Mug steaming. Silence thick. I lost everything, she started. Eyes down. Boutique. Friends.
Tom.
Even the instructor ghosted when the feds called. Schadenfreude tempted. But I sipped neutral. Actions have echoes. She nodded. Tears pooling. I know. The pills. Started after Mia. Postpartum.
They said.
But it spiraled, numbing the guilt. The lies. You were right. I was the monster.
Confess in whom?
Controversial communion. Part of me yearned absolution, forgive, move on. But the survivor? She probed. Why now? Leverage?
No.
She slid a thumb drive across. Proof. The real paternity test, clean. Tom's hers. And the insurance forge?
Not me.
Tom's uncle, greasy bastard, wanted the payout for his casino debts. I covered because.
Love.
Stupid loyalty.
Twist got punched.
Uncle Ray, Pop's brother. The black sheep-eyed banished post-funeral. He'd slithered back, whispering investments to Tom.
Ide suspecta.
But grief blinded. Why tell me? Voice steady. Barely. Because you fought fair. Ruthless.
But fair.
And Mia. She asks for mommy. Sobs broke. Shoulders shaking. I want in. Supervised. Whatever. For her. Mercy's razor. Granted. Risk relapse?
Deny?
Doom the kid to half-mother? America's family courts preached redemption. But reality? Messier than mud pie. I pocketed the drive. I'll run it by Tom.
No promises.
She left with a nod. Ghost in the dusk. I called Tom immediate, voicemail. His flight delayed. Call back.
Big.
Sleep evaded. Mind churning. If true, Ray's the root evil, fraud's architect. Lauren his pawn.
Confront?
Or bury deeper. Tom's return was airport fresh. Crashing my porch at midnight. What's the emergency? I played the drive, docs. Audio of Ray's sleaze voice. Kid. Sign here. Emery's too soft to notice.
Tom blanched.
That son of I thought it was legit. Lauren knew.
Protected you.
I watched him process, betrayal layering betrayal. We end him. Fire in eyes.
Shared now.
But dawn brought the real twist. News alert. Blaring on my phone. Elder fraud ring busted in Atlanta. Key player, Raymond Hayes. 72. Feds. Rita's doing. Her vines tangling Ray's casino ties. Article named accomplices. Lauren not among. But cooperating witness nod. She'd flipped. Preempted us. Tom laughed. Disbelieving. Sneaky bitch. Redeemable? Maybe. I smiled. First genuine in ages. The finale unfolded in layers. Ray indicted. Assets seized. My loans refunded with interest. Lauren's eval cleared cautious. Visits granted. Mia's eyes lighting at mommy's turn. Controversy peaked in headlines. Forgiven or foolish. Emile welcomes back backstabbing DIL. Talk shows debated. Therapists touted boundaries as bridges. Pundits missed the point. Forgiveness wasn't weakness, it was weapon. Disarming the foe. Christmas Eve. House aglow, tree twinkling.
Mia in reindeer PJS.
Tom and the pediatrician call her Jess. Strong lights. Lauren arrived last. Gift wrapped all in arms.
Tentative smile.
Awkward orbit. Small talk over eggnog. Mia the gravity. As carols crooned, Lauren pulled me aside. Thank you for hearing me out. Don't think yet. I eyed her steady. One slip. You're out. For good. Understood. Respect flickered. Earned. Not given. Later. Swing creaking under stars.
Tom joined.
Full circle. Huh. Or spiral up. Mia's laughter echoed from inside. Pure sound. No by kitsch here, just hard one co-how. Laced with vigilance. The do-over? Not curse. But canvas, painted messy. Magnificent. As midnight told, I whispered to the night. Thanks for the redo. Echo answered, you're welcome. Now live. And I did, fiercer, freer, forever changed.